Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Neville Campbell, and welcome back to the Wellness Hustle podcast. Today, we've had some amazing guests so far, and right now, we have another amazing guest. Today, we have George Byrom.
Hey.
And for those of you who don't know George Byrom, I believe that you just haven't been around, or maybe you have been living under a rock if you're in Atlanta. George has done some amazing things, from creating Cash to Crash, the brand, as well as the Heritage Law Firm. George is not a personal injury attorney. Neither is George a physician. George is a businessman. Today, we want to understand what is it in his background as a child, as a teenager growing up, what planted these business ideas in his mind, and how he's been able to navigate this landscape to the level of success that he has achieved. Certainly, it has not been easy. And if anyone looking on think that it's easy, then they're awfully mistaken. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome George Byrom.
Thank you,
George.
Chamber.
Pleasure to have you, man. Thank you. Dr. Swag in the building.
That's all.
George, it's been a while, man. I mean, we've been trying to connect for quite some time now, and I think, with Paul as in Brooke, well, Paul is your sister,
Yes.
and Brooks, my marketer,
Yep.
and they're both good friends.
Sure.
With their assistance, we were able to connect.
Yep.
And we had a great conversation, man. The first time we actually sat down, chopped it up, but I think what resonated to me most from our conversation was just your overall humility. People who see George and know of George and Cast to Crash, they'll look at a lot of things. They'll look at the flashiness, they'll see this, they'll see that. But have they gotten some time to explore the person who's behind this? Talk to them on a personal level. And George, we're going to dive a little deeper into that today, because that's what resonated with me. And so I want to make sure that our audience today walk away with some of the key things that I walked away with from our discussion: your belief in your faith-based belief set, your commitment to hard work and dedication and drive, your push to strive above and beyond and look for, goals and meeting those goals and reaching and achieving. We're going to talk about some of those things today. So let's talk about you. Where were you born and raised?
Well, Dr. Tim, I appreciate that. I was born in the ATL.
In ATL.
But I'm a true ATLian. I was born on the south side of Atlanta, the real Atlanta, for the people who know, Cascade and Beecher Street. I grew up in one house my whole life with my mother and a little bit of my father. They stayed together. They never divorced, but he was in and out the home. He was a former Vietnam veteran. Also, he was a addict. And so he was always in our house. But my mother did a perfect job of raising her 4 kids, including Paula, which is my, sister. And she did an amazing job there at best. She worked every day, taught me to grind and grit, to work it. I never, for a day, never wanted to work. I always was a hard worker. I would go out and come home. No, my mom never had to tell me to go cut the yard. I wanted to go cut. I would throw the lawnmower out the barn, mow the yard. I mow, but mom said, "Oh, stop cutting my trees down." I cut all the trees down in the yard. So that's how I grew up. I went down 3 schools my whole life: Beecher Hills, Southwest Middle School, and Mays High School.
Yeah.
He then went to college around the corner at Morris Brown College, all in basically Southwest Atlanta.
Wow. Wow.
So I grew up my whole life was in Southwest Atlanta.
So some people hearing that you're from South Atlanta, like when I'm trying to remember which Bible story that they asked, can anything good come out of Nazareth? I think someone asked about that, and the same thing applies, because South Atlanta, from what I hear, and again, I'm fairly new to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Now it is somewhat better. What I heard, it was quite challenging.
Yeah.
How did you? I mean, the friends that you grew up with, using them as a barometer, where are they now?
Wow.
And
that's good.
yeah, and what you think was available to you that allowed you to reach the level of success that you have, and Where are they now? If you're still in touch with them.
I'm still well. It's crazy. It's a great question because it's crazy. In my neighborhood, it's like a freeway. You got the hustlers, you got the workers, and you got the college kids. It's like all in one. Everybody's cool with each other. Everybody's down with each other. Everybody does beat each other. It's like you got the politicians, police, and everybody one with another. In my neighborhood, you're gonna know one of the people, the hustlers. Everybody's all looped in together. I was in all three. I'm with the hustlers, I'm with the politicians, I'm with the police. I'm down with everybody in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And that's and pretty much the politicians, the hustlers are down with everybody else, and everybody's cool with each other. Everybody grew up together. Some people took one path, some people took another path. We all in some kind of way still connected. Some people are no longer with us. Some people still are here. You know what I'm saying? But that's the environment we grew up in. It's kind of a dynamic neighborhood. Cause like I grew up in the hood, but the first black mayor of Atlanta lived in the hood with me. He was like a block away. You can go to his house, and he had the police out in front of the house, but he lived right in the neighborhood. So it was a dynamic feeling that you was in the hood, but you said, oh, some hope.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So the hood had a little hope.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Folks that like that, the hood.
Yeah.
Had a little hope.
The hood had a little hope.
Let's explore that, man.
Yeah.
So, I'm certain that seeing, the politicians, the mayor in your neighborhood, and seeing them going and coming, as a kid, did that inspire or ignite a fire in you?
Well, knowing that Martin Luther King was from it, that was also inspiring. And then seeing the offsprings of Martin Luther King in your neighborhood still, going up, it was like, man, it's possible. I always thought it was possible. That was always my this thing is really possible because I just seen so many, political people, police chief, everybody was basically in my neighborhood. And I said, oh, this thing is possible. And I always kept it in my head all throughout childhood that it's possible. And even, throughout, I had some stumbling grounds, because, hey, I had to go through the fire, with a lot of other people that do it. Because honestly, no one told us, I'm saying us, even the politicians, I grew up seeing politicians, we all did the same thing. Nobody taught us right from wrong. They taught us get it. Get it however you need to get it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we did. You know what I'm saying? No holds barred. We wanted to come up. We didn't care how we did it, who, you know what I'm saying? What we had to do. We just like, we finna come up. We want to get this money. And that's how it was one of my neighborhood. And I can testimony to a lot of people that I grew up with. That's how that's our mindset. Because we never got that, like, even the preachers, you know what I'm saying? We just like, hey, get you some money. They ain't never saying, do it this way.
Yeah.
Get you some money. That's what they always say, And that's what, that's how we grew up.
If you had to change anything, Vorch, anything in this upbringing process, the things that you saw or exposed to, what would you change?
Oh my God. Honestly, I go back and I think about it and I think about everything because I think about everything I did and how I did it. And I'm like, I'm not even ashamed because to me I had to go through. I don't think I would learn the things I've learned if I wouldn't have went through the things I've done. For instance, like I said, it was the only thing. I every day of my life I woke up, we were trying to tussle, we didn't care how we got it, at scam, whatever we was doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's what we did. And I got caught. And you know what I'm saying? Because like several of your parents tell you to do something, but don't get caught.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You good as long as you don't get caught.
Right.
So I grew up with that mindset. Do whatever you gotta do, just don't get caught. I got caught. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad I got caught.
God would have it that you got caught.
I got caught. I'm so glad I got caught.
How was this moment like when getting caught, like in that moment? I'm certain as kids sometimes we think that because we may be getting away, and so there's a feeling of invincibility that comes about after successes after success, and then you get caught.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that moment?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna squeeze back a little bit.
Yeah.
In just here. All right. So I always dabbled in the dibble. Not getting caught.
Right.
I owned a nightclub. My mom helped me get it. I did that for like 2 years. Largest nightclub in Atlanta, right down the street from here. Did that. Got a little taste of money, wanted more. So did a little other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really get caught. You know what I'm saying? Got a little slap on the wrist. You know, got caught, but nothing happened. Kept going on another nightclub. Nothing happened. So I've been doing this personal injury business the whole time, like just getting cases.
Yeah.
You know, that was my little side money. You know what I'm saying? And just kept getting a little money here, a little money. Never wasn't enough. Never knew how to do the right thing. I just, amongst friends, integrity, 100%.
Yeah.
Not going to take from your friends.
Yeah.
Not going to give your friends. Not going to snitch on nobody.
Right.
All that. But for it's like not, like integrity, like straight.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Just a little wiggle room here, a little wiggle room there. Just like the gray area, they call it.
Yeah.
Just
Towing that line.
Drawing the line with the gray area all the time. You know what I'm saying? And eventually kept doing the gray area and I got caught. And I had to go away and I had to go to prison. And that was all when my life changed.
What year was that?
That was 2005.
What lessons did you learn from this situation?
All right. Number one, when I first got caught, I thought, because I knew I was guilty. So I knew I was going to have to, either go away for a little while or whatever. So I was like, you know what? I'm scared. You know what I'm saying? Because, you're about to talk about, prison,
right.
It's going to be beat up, going to get raped, all this stuff. And that was my mindset because I had never, been away before other than like a day or so and going down, counting. So this particular time, I got to go away, you know what I'm saying, and do a sentence. And I'm scared. And my wife is pregnant when I'm leaving and pull up. So they let me turn myself in. It's federal. And they turned myself in, drove up there, and I drove up to an Air Force base. So, in Alabama. And looking around, there's no bars. I'm like, okay. So I drove myself on to the camp. It was a camp. It was just like a camp. And I got there. There was no fences on the camp. It was just like open, just, hey, it's like going to a camp. So I got there, and it's like, no fences, everybody's just walking around doing their thing. I'm like, whoa, this ain't not what I thought. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm scared, and everybody's like super nice. Hey, man, you need some help. You need this. Hey, man, you're going to be okay, man. It's going to be easy. Da, da, da. I looked up, and it's almost like tears came to my eyes when I first got there. And I looked around, because I had never really lived on campus, and then I stayed off campus when I was in college. And I said, wow, this is college. Swear to God. So I said to myself the first day, I said, this is going to be my college. And I said to myself, this will be my Harvard. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be my Harvard. You know what I'm saying? And to that day forward, I said, all I'm going to do, learn and read.
Wow.
Every day, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read. That's all I'm going to do. I made a promise to myself. I'm going to be everything, because I always wanted to be wealthy. I said, I'm going to be everything I can get my hands on about how to get wealthy, how to be rich, how to be, how to do the right thing. Because I want this right here.
Yeah, you want to repeat the
again in my life. Yeah. And somebody gave me a book. I think it was not Think About Rich. It was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
And I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki.
Very good one.
Yeah. Very good. And when I read the book, I said, that sounds like me. So mama was like, get a good job, go to work. Mom told me that every day of my life. I said, she worked her life. She said, get a good job, go to work. I refused to do that. I only had one job my entire life, from Trump Hospital. And I was like, I don't want to do this because I saw everybody at the job. I'm not like, I don't want to be working on everything. Everybody left like suck on my.
Yeah, you knew what you wanted. You knew what you were called to do.
I called this. I said, I don't want to be working every day. I said, it's not my mama worked to work. She came home, complained every night. I don't want to do that. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. They're fighting about this, they're fighting about. I said, I don't want to do my life. So I said, I read cards. I said, it sounds like my mom, And then he had his dad or his mother was saying, you need to start your own business. And he had a neighbor who said, you need to start a business. He was a businessman. And he kept, talking about that. He said, I want to be like a neighbor, instead of being like my dad. And that's what kind of sparked me. I said, you know what? I want to be everything I can get my hand on from this point forward about wealth building in them books. So everybody started sending me books. I literally read 500 books.
Really? While you were there.
So I was at 18. That's all. And people, I was smiling every day. And people wanted to like, why are you smiling, dude? What's wrong with you? I said, I'm happy. I said, it's nothing like this has ever happened to me. I'm learning so much that I can't believe it, that I'm happy.
Yeah.
And they was mad at me. So I was happy. And I couldn't believe they was mad at me. And I was like, why ain't y'all reading? You know what I'm saying? That's what I was asking myself. I said, well, the time y'all got,
Yeah,
some of
you
these
have
guys
all
had
this
been
time.
like 5 years, you've been there. Like, why do you ain't reading? You got the information I'm getting. I'm gonna get to the police when I get back.
Right.
So I was saying to myself, and I said, I'm gonna read until I believe. That's what I did. And I left, I believed it.
Amen to that.
Truly believe.
Yeah.
Like I believe it now. You know what I'm saying? It's like I believe everything. Because once it's in here,
Yeah, they
can't help it.
we take folks from adversity to opportunity. George Byrom, gone through the works, went through, could have stopped, could have given up, could have turned to a completely different pathway.
Yeah.
But no, you chose to utilize this opportunity to learn so you can come back out and be a beast.
Yeah, peace.
Tell me about this beast that you have created. Tell me about Cash to Crash.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Crash to cash. Well, like I said, I try not to get back in this business
Mhm.
because everybody always, oh man, you just an ambulance chase.
Mhm.
You just an ambulance chase. So I was like, yeah, I started doing printing. I didn't want to do this. I'm
Right.
printing, the marketing while I was in, because that's, that was my second thing. I just like to, make things pretty, make things
Mhm.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And while I was in, I read Barnum. That was one of my books. I read about P.T. Barnum.
Mhm.
And Barnum was like my mentor because I read all of his books, everything, and I wanted to do a show, you know what I'm saying? I said, you know what? Because I was still doing this when I got out. I was still getting paid. I said, you know what? This is where I'm making all my money at. You know what I'm saying? It's hands down. I'm making all the money here. The printing is okay, but it's not making this type of money.
Mhm.
So you know what? I had my friend who she's my person who helped me create. She said, you know what? You need to let the printing go and you need to just focus on, getting cards. I said, you're right, this is where all the money comes at. I said, but I can't just focus on just getting cards. I got branded. We got brand.
Yeah.
Something,
Yeah, remember.
you got to make it even. So I said, so I'm thinking, trying to come up with a name. I said, crash to cash. Crash to cash. Yeah, I said, that's it. You know what I'm saying? I said, so from that point on, I'm crashing cash now.
Yeah.
And I'm finna make it like bar.
Yeah.
I'm make it a show, and I started basically creating the pump and circus around the brand.
Yeah.
Make it more than just
Yeah.
about cards. It's like I'm putting on a show, a circus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how Crash to Cash came about.
George, this is genius.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, your pathway to success is not an unusual one, but for most people in our space, and in our industry, we think we think specifically, law or medicine, but there's an entire dimension of business that goes and supports all of that.
True.
And there needs to be the proper mindset, the proper will, desire to to push, to drive, to develop that. And so to see you navigate that, and have created something this successful, there's a lot that you could potentially impart and teach. Is there a desire of yours to get involved in mentorship?
Of
Or
course.
share or give back. There's probably several inner city youth who's probably looking and wondering, what is my way out of this? Looking for different opportunities, different things, and certainly hearing your story, seeing how you've navigated could potentially be beneficial. Any thoughts of giving back in that respect?
Yes. Yeah. Campbell. That's one of my. I can't wait to complete my task at Crash Cash to basically wind it down and push it on somebody else, my kids, but so I can actually go out and let people know that there is a way, just away from the madness, and I can't wait to tell the kids because as a kid, people deviled on it, told me this, told me that. Nobody used to sell. I sit down and tell people, I say, look, there's one way to do this thing. And I remember reading this book. This book was called The Greatest Salesman Book. And I'm like, I know I'm not a great salesman. I'm like, anybody can tell somebody to go to the doctor if you get $5,000 if they ever got $10,000. That's easy. That ain't hard. I'm not a salesman. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I done got to fix somebody.
Right.
It's easy.
Right.
You hurt, you're going to get
Cash.
$20,000. No brainer, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's no big deal. I'm not racist. But this book said that. I said, I want to be a great salesman.
Yeah.
So what do you have to do? And the book said that you need one thing, and you can become a great salesman. And that's love. I said, whoa, that's it? So all I gotta do is love on people, and I could become a great salesman? Man, that's all you got to period. That's the key to everything in life.
Right.
All you gotta do is love.
Right.
That's easy. It's hard, but it's easy. Just have to love somebody, you know?
Folks, this is the third guest on our podcast today, George Byrom, a businessman. Before we had two lawyers, and the same sentiments were echoed. Leading with love, not with what you're trying to extract, but leading with love and then seeing the rest fall into place. That's a powerful story, George. Tell me, what is the next 5 years or 10 years look like for George, for Cash to Crash, for Heritage Law Firm? Let me understand what your vision is for the next 5 to 10 years.
5 to 10 years. All right. So I plan on taking Crash to Cash. Because Heritage is really purpose parallel services.
Mhm.
So I'm really taking Crash to Cash.
Mhm.
I want to go nationwide with it. I want to go like not maybe every state, but I want to go to most states that's that need our help and connect people with lawyers and doctors so people can get service.
Yes.
And I want to, if possible, depending on what the laws are in other countries, I'm gonna take it worldwide. You know what I'm saying? If it's feasible, and if you can't do it crashes, but you can help them in some other type of form and fashion. They can get people connected with the help they need when they need it, And eventually, because we want it to because I got to think, one of my books said, I think small, you can think big. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I can't stop just worldwide because I'm thinking now with all this AI and technology and all this literacy being like figured out, I think we're gonna be in space pretty soon.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm gonna prepare
Right.
with space.
Right.
I'm gonna prepare to go to the universe.
Right.
So I'm like, I want to take it to the universe. You know what I mean? And like help people all over the universe.
Yep.
So I want to just take it as far as you take it and help as many people as we can. To make that fun. And that's the truth.
Folks, you've heard the man himself, George Byrom, speaking with passion, speaking with intention, and speaking with power about where he's looking to take his brand. There's no time here for dreaming small. There's no room for a small dream. Small dream leads to small results, lead to small destination. Big dreams, they shouldn't make you nervous. They shouldn't make you anxious. They shouldn't make people look at you like, what are you thinking? Are you even in your right mind? But these are the people that push beyond and achieve greatness because they dare to believe in the unbelief. George,
Yes.
I'm inspired and I'm encouraged. And I'll tell you what, I'm with you 100%, man. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
And then congratulations on what you built. And again, when I met you, I was really, really inspired by what you've created, how you've created it. And certainly I know that what you've done has not been without challenges. You touched on one of the big challenges that you've encountered, which was being incarcerated. But that was just for you a stepping stone. Because you utilize that opportunity to learn as much as you possibly could learn so you could come back out and be better, bigger. This next phase of your growth, this next phase of your experience, this next phase of your existence, as you and I know, George, it's really up to us. However far we want to push,
It's true.
however much we want to achieve, it's within our grasp. Do we want it?
That's it.
And how much do we really want it?
Exactly.
George, it was a pleasure talking with you today. And appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming, brother.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.